A lot of Democrats tried to warn, don't take these deals. He will stiff you like he has every contract that ever worked for him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this thing in this story in the Washington Post yesterday. These feds took the Trump's fork deal. They got fired, creating a government mess. I mean, all of these insiders now, and these are not just Democrats, it's all these federal employees and all of these agencies, of course, are telling the truth now about how indiscriminate, chaotic, incompetent all of this is. Dave Elmstrom's knew what he would do when the Trump administration's resignation offer titled "Fork in the Road" landed in his inbox. Take it. He replied resign on February 5th, according to an email. He also signed a resignation agreement, though no supervisor could tell him where to send it. 8 days later, he was fired for performance. A human resource officer told him his probationary employees were no longer eligible for the fork offer. He let's see, blah blah blah. He received an email declaring on Wednesday finally he was accepted after all. He said this whole thing has just been a bundle of uncertainty. It's very disorganized. I feel like they're just making it up as they go. And now administration officials and agency leads are scrambling to fix their blunders and get back in touch with employees who have lost access to government emails and work devices. Well, we're seeing this across people that deal with our nukes. They're trying to fix bird flu. I mean, this isn't cutting government fraud and waste. This is just mass chaos.
Yeah, and they're laying off people at the FAA, and we're having more plane crashes and incidents. This is about chaos and cruelty. That is the point of it, and it is in Donald Trump's efforts to instill fear, make people feel desperate, anxious, despondent, and depressed, so they will not continue to speak out and rise up against his corruption. Don't fall for it. And unfortunately, Steph, I think we are now going to see thousands of people in legal battles in court for the next year or two fighting these wrongful terminations. And, nobody should have to be put through that. But Donald Trump doesn't care. In fact, if the federal government has to pay out billions of dollars because they just wrongfully terminated all these people, Donald Trump doesn't care because he's trying to accomplish the chaos and cruelty today because he thinks it strengthens his hand by weakening the American people.
Glenn, also, I keep saying this too, and this has to do with maybe you're saying no more corporate media for me and the media doing their job. Ron Filipowski said, I assume at some point we're going to get to see hard actual proof submitted in a sworn affidavit, grand jury indictment, congressional testimony, etc., that millions of people are defrauding trillions from Social Security, or is it just going to be social media posts and TV hits? I mean, you always say that, like what a court of law under oath and facts are different than, to the point. Someone else posted, Elon Musk posted a screenshot of a spreadsheet that illustrated more than 350 million Americans over 150 years old receiving Social Security payments. 350 million exceeds the population of the United States. They are making up numbers to enrage the ill-informed, right?
Yeah.
And flashing things that make it look like it's evidence, but wouldn't stand up for a second in a court of law, right?
Yeah, and I do fear that corporate media, legacy media, mainstream media continues to play Donald Trump's game. I don't understand why. I hope it's not simply motivated by how many eyeballs they can get on cable TV. But, that's why I think the rise of independent media is so darn important right now. Donald Trump stands up and just says, well, Zelensky started the war and he's a dictator and we're going to make Canada the 51st state and where is the concerted effort by legacy media to deliver to people in a thoughtful, consistent way just how corrupt and criminal this administration is? Instead, we're chasing the fact. This morning I watched for, 5 to 10 minutes on mainstream media while they talked all about how Donald Trump called the American hockey team and they loved it. We're going to be putting out a video. Let's go to the why does America need that right now? Well, it's a distraction that helps Donald Trump. Why is mainstream media? I don't intend to make this a bashing session on mainstream media.
No, I know.
But why are they falling for
Well,
it?
they're seeing the same polling we're seeing. Trump's numbers. What did Harry Anton say? His numbers are underwater like the Little Mermaid already. So we're not taking crazy pills. That's why they're doing this like bait and switch. Oh, Elon's going to send everybody $5,000. It's like such bull. It's like, oh, don't look at, how he's like looting millions in government contracts and finding
Every
zero
Steph,
government waste, right? And
everything they say is the equivalent of we're going to build a wall on the southern border and Mexico's going to pay for it. That's all. Everything Donald Trump says boils down to that, something that will
yeah.
never happen. He knows it will never happen, but the media will chase that endlessly.
It's the equivalent of how they used to say dragging a dollar bill through a trailer park. It's like, hey, how come I didn't, like 80% were against pardoning the January 6th. If you look at the latest Washington Post polling, huge percentages are against everything he's doing. And they're just like, oh, look at this dollar bill over here. You know what I mean? Like that, hoping people are just as stupid and ill-informed and selfish as when they voted a month ago, I guess, right?
But I think the good news, I'm always looking for some point of light. Sometimes I have to like close one eye and squint and turn my head to find it. But listen, he is overplaying his hand every day. He is alienating more and more and more of the American people. He's cutting park funding. He's cutting the, FAA. He's cutting this. He's cutting that.
Yeah.
He's cutting, Alzheimer's research or Parkinson's research. I mean, all of this stuff is about cruelty and distraction. And here's the thing, Steph, the worm will turn. More and more people are turning against him. Even the Republicans, world consensus is turning against him. So this is not sustainable.
Right. And can I say, Glenn, I'm a fan of many people on MSNBC. So personally, I'm going to be sad. I'm going to miss you because I love watching you. I'm so happy we still get you. But Rachel Maddow, for one, she just exposed the GOP for what they are behind closed doors, begging Trump to exclude their states from cuts while lying to your face on national TV about supporting his agenda. They're scared to stand up to him, but they'll happily destroy us all. I mean, Rachel Maddow's a national treasure. I mean, obviously, I love Nicole Wallace. There's a lot of, great democracy warriors there. I just want us to support, but I want to ask everybody to support what you're doing independently as well. There is, we have got to build this ecosystem ourselves.
Yeah, Steph, listen, Lawrence, my gosh, Lawrence
God.
at 10 o'clock and Rachel and Nicole and my
Joy.
friend Katie Fang, who's a justice warrior, former prosecutor herself. I love and admire and respect these people. I just don't appreciate the message of mainstream media anymore and what they choose to focus on and what they decline to focus on. But here's the thing. I'm on Substack now. I just launched this week. I'm not pushing Substack. Nothing is behind a paywall on my Substack. I don't put stuff behind a paywall. I was on with Jim Acosta last night, and we actually dug down into the legal issues that to the average person are inexplicable until I say, Jim, let me tell you what this U.S. attorney in D.C. is doing. Let me tell you what Beauvais is really doing. And if you give it to people in terms they can understand, it's like, holy crap, you're kidding me. That is how dramatically they're abusing the power of DOJ.